Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and I'm here to talk about Game 77 of the regular season, where the Rangers win 5-2 over the Washington Capitals in another phone it in, but you get a big win. I will give the Rangers credit. They looked better than they have in previous first period, so that was cool. It was a pretty okay first period, for the most part. Like, for the first, I don't know, when did Miller score? First 12 minutes, it was another, like, oh, it's going to be another flat first period, but then, hey, get a pair of goals. Miller's goal was hilarious because Trocheck takes a shot and it just sits there for what felt like an eternity. And no Washington Capital gets over to the puck. It's sitting on the ice, begging on a wide open net for someone to come in. And Keandre Miller looks at the puck, and I can only imagine in his mind, he's like, there's no way I win this puck race, right? But sure as shooting, he won the race, fires it in on an empty net. Keandre Miller had a very nice game, by the way, gets the Rangers on the board first, and if I personally were Darcy Kemper after that goal, I would have simply taken my defensemen out to center ice and beat them to death. And then very soon after, Kids line getting after it, good zone pressure, Hedl forces a mistake, feeds it to Alexis Lafreniere, and oh boy, what a beaut. Through the legs, backhand, just, God, it was such a good goal by Alexis Lafreniere. Looked identical to the goal he scored last year against the Red Wings where he ate Dylan Larkin alive on it. It was perfect. Just such a great goal by Alexis Lafreniere. That third line, Hedl, Kakko, and Lafreniere are coming to life right now, guys. They look great, and boy, oh boy, if they do what they did last year, which was play at a certain level, get to the playoffs, and just put it through the roof and find that next gear, if they find another gear at this moment in time, that line is going to dominate the postseason, and I am very excited about it because the next goal the Rangers get, it's Keandre Miller behind the net, puts it in front, Kaapo Kakko sitting in the front of the net. Underrated net front presence, Kaapo Kakko, who when he decides to be a little nuisance in the crease, pretty darn good at it, and the Rangers are up 3-0. However, the next goal was unfortunate because the next goal was for the Washington Capitals. Ovechkin hands it to Dylan Strome, who carries into the offensive zone and is behind the net. Igor Shesterkin, I thought, played a really good game today. I thought he looked really good. I thought he's looked good as of late. That goal can't go in. Doesn't cling the post well enough, leaves way too much of a big open gap. Dylan Strome sees that, fires off of Shesterkin, and this wasn't a... he fires it towards the net, but it banks off of a player and then off of the goaltender, or it banks off of the post and then the goal. No, this was the entire time he was shooting to bank it off of him, and it did. He left too much open. This is the only mistake Igor Shesterkin made today. The only mistake, because the second goal for the Caps was not a mistake on Igor Shesterkin's part. We'll talk about that when we get to it. The Rangers then in the third period, realizing early that they possessed one of the worst leads to have, which is a 2-goal lead, decided to make it a 3-goal lead with Tarasenko just ripping a shot. An absolute beauty. Just off the bar and in. Nothing Darcy Kemper could do about that. A beaut by Tarasenko on a weird line. I'll talk about that briefly at the end of this video. And then you have the protest goal. Midway through the third period, and I can tell you who this isn't on. The only player in the blue paint who's actually supposed to be in the blue paint. Shesterkin makes, 4 or 5 saves at point blank while the puck was practically in the blue paint in a matter of like 7 seconds. It is a miracle it took the Capitals as many tries as it did to actually get this to be a goal. Shesterkin, again, played out of his mind today. Even on this play, he made a few unreal saves, and eventually you have Tyler Mott and Barclay Goodrow, who are trying their best to imitate him, and they end up blocking him. He can't do anything. Protest fires it in to score. It's 4-2, and Shesterkin let him have it. And it was kind of deserved. I understand that Barclay Goodrow and Tyler Mott are trying to help on this play. I understand that you're trying to get in the way. That being said, you're getting in the way of the goaltender. And you can't have that. Shesterkin was upset, and he had the right to be. You wouldn't let a goaltender go to the opposite end of the ice and try to quarterback a power play, so why are forwards trying to get in the blue paint? It doesn't make sense. And then to completely put away the game on a power play, Kane with just fires, it's a rebound, he takes it, and just such a nice backhanded no-look pass over to Mika Zibanejad. Tape to tape, my guy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kane still got it, and the Rangers go up 5-2, which would be your final score. So I already mentioned it, but I'll say it again. I thought Igor Shesterkin had a very nice game. He's had a nice string of games where he looks good and primed and ready for the postseason, which is exactly what you want to see from him. The kids' line looks unreal. They look fantastic. Kakko, Hedl, and Lafreniere are all playing at the highest level we've ever seen them play, and that is super encouraging as you are looking at a playoff series coming up in the next couple of weeks. The top six was strange because Gerard Gallant decided that he would be a funny little silly Billy and move the lines around going into the game, and they looked kind of strange. Tarasenko and Panarin, but instead of Mika, you put Trocheck with him. The lines look strange, but he has already said, Gallant has said, that he has the lines set for the postseason, and he's just going to spend the last little bit kind of playing around, tinkering with them. If he's truthful with that, and you get into Game 1 against the Devils, because it's probably going to be the Devils, and Game 1 you got Panarin, Mika, and Tarasenko, Kane, Kreider, and Trocheck, kids line and grinding line, perfect. I'm happy. That's as good as you could possibly hope for. If it's different, I'm just going to tell you, I have my pitchfork and torch ready. And then you have Keandre Miller, who's getting hot at the right time. He had an incredible start to the season where he's playing great defense, and then the scoring came, and he was scoring for like a 10-game stretch, was almost a point per game. It was wild how good he was for a little bit there. Then kind of tailed off for a while, started to get it back. It really started to come back with the 4-point game in the first period of that game. And he's continued to look pretty solid. He had a very nice night tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had 2 points, a goal, and an assist. I want to double check that. Yeah, 2.9 for Keandre Miller. He's looking good as of late, looking solid defensively. And speaking of defensively, I really want Ryan Lindgren back. So the Rangers are off tomorrow and Tuesday. They are back in Madison Square Garden on Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll be here afterwards to talk about it, but as for right now, that is all I have to say. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Rangers.